Good morning, I'm Denis McNeill for Causeway Coast Radio. Every year from the start of December up until Christmas Eve, round about the spot where I'm standing now, we see the familiar face of the caring caretaker, Davy Boyle, as he sits here outside the town hall in his hut and begins 1 month of collecting for charities. But Davy's fundraising activities have taken a big hit this year with COVID. Davy, let me take you back first of all to January of this year, and you got yourselves all sorted out for the jail and bail.
Yes, I was planning a big year for 2020 with 10 good candidates for jail and bail, and yourself knew who they were and they had a lot of things planned, but unfortunately a lot of them now has had to be cancelled.
And remind the viewers again just what's the idea behind the jail and bail. It's basically collecting money?
The jail and bail is basically you get friends to be arrested and then they're released out into the community to raise their bail of £500 or more, which most of them normally do over the £500, and then they go to the judge in June. And
that's a bit of a fun event that takes place nearby, and you normally have a rather well-known police officer who plays the part of the judge.
Yes, we have a very good acting judge. And then we parade around the town and I end up in a local cafe for morning refreshment.
So there's a lot of money lifted for you by the jail and bailers, and that hasn't happened, as we've said, this year. How disappointing has that been for you? And how disappointing, I wonder, has that been for the charities?
Well, the charities are struggling and everybody's in the same boat. All the charities are struggling. But hopefully they'll see their way through this, you know.
Can you remind us of some of the charities who are losing out this year, whom you ought to have been collecting for?
Well, the charities that I had planned for 2020 was McNeill Cancer, the Northern Ireland Hospice, Kidney Research here in the town, Friends of Cancer, Prostate Cancer, Community Rescue Service, Alzheimer's, Charities Project and the Northern Ireland Sands, which are all household names and they're diseases that most of us families will have through our lifetime.
And the word local runs through quite a few of those charities, David.
They're 90% local charities.
And can you remind us again, over the course of 20 years or 21 years, how much has the caring caretaker with his helpers collected for charities?
In the 20 years up until now is £630,000 handed over to different charities.
I've asked you before now, and it's not been a good year, but I'm going to ask you again. Is the 1 million still a target?
Well, the 1 million is still a target, but took a big hit this year.
Now, let's move forward a wee bit to November. We're now standing in the second week or thereabouts in August. What's the very latest with regards to the big breakfast, which would normally take place at the Lodge Hotel?
Well, I've been speaking to the management of the Lodge Hotel, and they're confident that they can run a buffet-type breakfast with the social distancing, but there's some advisors until they get the track and trace, contact details, the lead person who booked the table, what town they're from, and it's not as simple as it sounds.
Right, so it's a more complicated process, but that may still go ahead, is that correct?
Well, I'm having a meeting with them and they have told me that they'll help me through that.
Yes.
So at this moment in time it's still on, but it could all change.
And I've no doubt, and I know from having coffee with you from time to time, you'd like to pay tribute to the Lodge Hotel, who are very good to you.
Well, the Lodge Hotel, since day one, has always supported me, and their phrase is that I'm part of their charities for the years.
And finally, Davy, we started this interview by saying that we're standing pretty much on the same spot where you sit for almost 1 complete month in very cold weather in December. What is the very latest with regard to a possibility of this year's sit-out?
Well, again, I have my permits and all in with the police, and at this moment in time, I've heard nothing to say that it's not on, but it all depends on this terrible virus, which will be affecting everybody. But if it's safe for me and it's safe for the people who will donate, tell me, I will certainly give it my best shot.
All right, so that is on hold, but it's definitely not cancelled.
It's definitely not cancelled.
Okay, and you had a Just Giving page. Is that still going?
It's still going, and if anybody would like to donate, tell it. They'll see it on my Facebook page.
And of course, it goes without saying, those charities would very much welcome a donation through your Just Giving page.
They would very much appreciate it. And As I say, all those charities will affect someone in their household in their lifetime.
And while there's no doubt that those charities have taken a big hit this year, the Caring Caretaker remains committed to the cause of raising money for those very deserving charities. Keep an eye on his Facebook page. Just look for David Boyle. For Causeway Coast Radio, I'm Denis McNeill.